So you're looking for the Honda City, a subcompact car and all of that, but you want something a little bit more practical. You want the practicalities of a hatchback. Once upon a time, you could get the Honda Jazz, but since Honda Philippines has since discontinued that car, well, they did give you somewhat of a replacement. This one right here is the 2022 Honda City RS Hatchback, a car that is exactly like that. Today I'm going to show you around this car and I'm also going to give it a test drive, so stay tuned. Exterior styling wise, the Honda City RS Hatchback is quite similar to its sedan counterparts, at least here over at the front. It has a very sporty look to it with these black accents by the center and also a full carbon trim down below. You also get the same LED headlights with a crystal-like structure and LED DRLs, plus some of these sporty fog light housings down below. Go over towards the side of the car and it just looks way more proportional than its sedan counterparts. Even though it has still this character line by the side, it doesn't look bloated because of the dimensions of the car, and you also get a very short overhang. It just looks way more balanced and way more sporty than the sedan counterpart. Painted wing mirrors with repeaters on it and 16-inch rims plus keyless entry are just some of the features of this car over here. You even get remote start in this car. Go towards the back of the Honda City RS Hatchback and it gives off a very youthful vibe. With a small spoiler up top and your third brake light, plus something that 90s car guys would absolutely love, a rear wiper. You all have it here. RS badge and also these beautiful looking tail lights, plus not a single fake exhaust in this car. You do get a legitimate exhaust pipe over there and somewhat of a diffuser also in a full carbon trim. Open up this tailgate and you get lots of space over here, and you can even fold down the rear seats 60/40. You can even raise up the seat base of the second row seats if you need to carry taller items. So in terms of space efficiencies, this Honda City RS Hatchback is just excellent. You even get a space saver spare tire. Apparently Honda City RS Hatchback is this 1.5 liter inline 4 gasoline engine making 121 horsepower and 145 Newton meters of torque, easily making this one of the best in its class in terms of power. It is also mated to a CVT transmission, giving you excellent fuel economy of around 10 kilometers per liter in the city and over 21 kilometers per liter on the highway. Inside the Honda City RS Hatchback, we check the door first. Sounds alright, not bad. The interior of the hatchback, it's a little bit similar at first glance to its sedan counterparts. However, there are a few key differences. If you look at the steering wheel, the bottom part here, the spokes over here, it is in black trim instead of like a silver-like trim. The seats themselves as well on the side, instead of having like leather all over it, you do get some sort of more sporty looking red accents. Anyway, aside from the differences, the interior of this car, it's not exactly the most premium, but it really does feel durable. So you don't really get an abundance of soft touch materials here aside from just a few padded leather pieces by the dashboard and by the center console. However, that's not really what this car is trying to be. And in that aspect, this is a perfect interior. It's still very ergonomic with your tilt and telescoping steering wheel, your paddle shifters, your easy to read speedometer with a tiny screen in the middle, and also this 8-inch touchscreen which is incredibly responsive and also comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, both of which are wired, and also a reverse camera with 3 different modes. Here, your AC is just a single zone and a regular shifter with an S mode and also an economy button. Plus, of course, can't forget your conventional handbrake. The seats themselves, I do find the thigh support to be a little bit on the shorter side, but overall the seats are very comfortable and manually adjustable for both the driver and the passenger side. In terms of features, the Honda City RS Hatchback gets 8 speakers all around, sounds pretty good, 6 airbags, and also cruise control. Here at the second row, check the door stud first. Sounds a bit better than the front. Once you're seated properly here at the second row, you get to enjoy tons of legroom and moderately good amounts of headroom as long as you are probably 5'8" or below. The middle seat though is best reserved as an emergency seat because it is quite high and quite narrow, so you do find your butt cheeks kind of spreading apart. You get your own armrest with 2 cup holders, your own air vents, as well as a map pocket, but only for the passenger side, and 2 12-volt outlets. Now we get to drive the Honda City RS Hatchback, and obviously it will drive rather similar to its sedan counterpart, but since the car is a lot shorter, at least with the back part, it feels as if it's a lot more chuckable. Not sure if it's placebo, but that's kind of how I feel with this car. Cornering wise and chuckability, it really is an incredibly chuckable car. This is still probably one of the most dynamic feeling cars in its class, but the only problem with that is the steering. So this already uses an electronic power assisted steering, so it is incredibly light and it doesn't really give you that much feedback. It's not that communicative. However, it is very direct and precise. So where you want the car to go, you can easily make the car go in that direction and it'll happily comply with you. The power in this car, you have a 1.5 liter engine. That doesn't sound like much, but really if you just step on the gas in this car, it is very much happy to accelerate and it is just proper preppy. Now the Honda City RS also uses a CVT transmission, and I know it's not the most optimal transmission for sporty driving. However, the CVT in this one, it doesn't really produce that much of a groan, so it's not that annoying. And it also puts you in the proper part of your rev band all the time. That way you can get peak acceleration anytime you want. You feel rather insulated and isolated from the outside road, at least when you are going in rather slow speeds. It also deals with road undulations pretty well. Probably not as well as its softer, more comfort-oriented competitors, but as far as these rather dynamic cars can go, Honda City does a pretty good job. When you do go up over to the highway though, it gets a little bit loud in here, especially from these tires. However, when it comes to wind noise, because your wing mirrors are mounted on the doors instead of on the pillars, it's a little bit more aerodynamic and it is a little bit quieter. For as long as you stay at the speed limit, it is 100% tolerable, and you even have cruise control in this car, so those longer journeys are also perfect. A lot of Japanese cars have really grabby brakes and brakes that just makes you lurch forward with a single tap of the pedal, but in this one there's a little bit of a travel before the brakes bite, so it gives you a little bit more refinement. It gives you a bit more refined feeling to it. You get to brake smoothly and just subtly, but if you do need to brake hard, don't worry, because the brakes are still incredibly powerful. Visibility in the hatchback City is also a lot better than its sedan counterparts because you see so much out of it, and you also have your rear glass quite near the edge of the bumper, which means parking this car, even especially because of its size, is incredibly easy, even in the smaller city roads. So now let's talk about pricing. The Honda City RS Hatchback retails for 1.115 million pesos. What do I think about this car at this price point? I think it is an excellent driving and compact machine that you can take out for your daily drives in the city and also on the open road. It simply is a rather refined car, and at that price point, it really is quite hard to beat it. Of course, you also get your Honda badge over there. So, what do you think about this car? Do comment down below and let me know if the Honda City RS Hatchback is the next car that you are considering.